Hey, we're live. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Proposition 22. I even went to Vegas to interview drivers there because I wanted to see what people outside of California were saying, and Vegas is really close. So that was interesting. Video on that coming. But Uber hates Prop 22. And I think that's all we need to know. Because if you're unhappy with Uber, if you're happy with Uber, then don't even listen to me, because don't even watch this video. I don't want you to. And stay away from me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, if you're unhappy though with Uber, all you need to know is that Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, they hate Prop 22. I mean, what am I saying? Oh my God, I have this all backwards. I'm so stupid. Uber hates the people. What? Hold on, let me retitle this. Oh my God, how embarrassing. Uber doesn't hate Prop 22. Shit. Dude, why do people call me when I'm streaming? That's so annoying. It's Hawaii. Yeah, I know who you are, idiot. Fucking stupid. Anyways, yeah, we're having fun today. So Uber doesn't hate Prop 22, but at least I got your attention. What Uber hates is for 22 to not pass. How should I title this? Uber hates. What does Uber hate? I wanted to use the word hate because it grabs your attention, but I got it all wrong. Sorry guys, I've been so busy today. But let's see, what is Uber? This is the thing. Let me get to the point real quick and then I'll fix this. So Prop 22, if it doesn't pass, it's a huge problem for Uber and Lyft. It's the end of rideshare in California as we know it. And they like the way things are. They don't want to change anything. So that's all you need to know, is that Uber likes it. And if Uber likes Prop 22, then it's got to be bad for us, because any driver that's been driving for any length of time knows that Uber is always trying to sell us every time they make a change. They're like, hey, this is going to be so great for you. And even when they lower the rates and they're just like, oh no, you're going to make so much more money now. And it's like, oh my gosh, they think that we're stupid, the drivers. They really think that we're stupid. And then, a week goes by, a month goes by, and we're like, oh yeah, no, they totally screwed us over and were lying to us. So anybody that's driving for any length of time knows that we do not want Prop 22. We do not want that. It's going to be the worst thing in the world for us. And I hear a lot of people, I'm starting to not know who, it's very political. Obviously, it's a proposition, so of course it's political. But people that I thought I could trust as sources for information in various places on social media, they don't. I suddenly realized I can't trust them anymore, because they do not care. I don't know what they're doing. Are they being paid by Uber and Lyft? What's going on out there? I do know, I found this article, and for some time now, there's $180 million that's being spent to try and pass Prop 22. That's another thing that's all you need to know, is that Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, they're paying to get this passed. So it can't be good. Anytime there's a proposition, you always look at who's funding it. So, and then the biggest point that I want to touch on in this stream, and I wish I would have gotten to this part sooner, but this is important. So there's people arguing these different points about the loss of flexibility. And a lot of what they're saying, they're they make it sound like, oh, this is definitely going to happen, but we don't know that. And the one that I want to touch on, which I think is most important, is that we won't be able to work for Lyft and Uber, that we won't be able to work for both companies. Now, I've done my research and I can't see where that's for certain. And everybody's acting like that's for sure. But that is not what even matters. This is what really matters. So ever since Lyft came along, Uber and Lyft have to compete for drivers. But not really. They really don't have to compete for drivers. And if it is true that we'll only be able to work for one app, we have to choose between Lyft or Uber, suddenly they really do have to compete for us. It's going to change everything. It's the opportunity. Like right now, Lyft and Uber, pretty much the same thing. And as time goes by, they become more and more the same. But if they have to compete for drivers, suddenly there really may be a difference between Lyft and Uber from the driver's perspective. And to me, how could you not vote yes? I mean, no. Man, see what they do? They confuse you. It's like, these propositions are so stupid because, they'll name a proposition, and this is how they trick us. They'll name a proposition, save the babies or save puppies. I heard this from somewhere. They'll call it the Save the Puppies Act. I was watching the interview of Edward Snowden on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about this. They'll take a proposition because they were talking about the Patriot Act. Like, who wouldn't vote yes on the Patriot Act, right? So it's the same thing with the propositions we vote on. They'll name it Save the Babies or Save the Puppies prop. And then everybody's going to vote yes, of course. Who doesn't want to save the puppies? And that's how they trick you. And then if you actually read it, you realize that actually what this proposition will do is kill puppies. And somehow they're killing the puppies, but they can call it the Save the Puppies. It shouldn't even be legal. Something that Joe Rogan said that was really interesting is that they shouldn't even give or be allowed to give these propositions or acts or whatever a name. It should just have a number and that's it, because it confuses people when they use these misleading names. And we would probably have a better system if they weren't allowed to do that. But I mean, the biggest thing that I wanted to touch on, though, is what I was saying about how I can't even see the chat. Hold on. What are you guys saying? Oh, wow. Look at April, dude. Showtime Pizza Report. What is Prop 22? Reasonable question. So it's a proposition we're voting on in November where Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, DoorDashers, all the app jobs, they'll have to label us as employees and they can't label us as contractors anymore. And so then we'll actually have labor protections. The labor protections that people have been fighting for over 100 years that they've basically eliminated just by calling us contractors. Because we are employees. They treat us like employees. For those of you that are worried about your schedule, somebody that I interviewed in Vegas, that's what he was saying, that, he wasn't going to be able to work the times that he wanted to work and be able to stop work. Another thing is, we won't be able to take a vacation for a month if we wanted to. Why? Why not? Honestly, why do you think, you're making all these assumptions? I just think it's crazy. The stuff that's being said. And something you guys all have to realize that I know a lot of people don't think about. There's these PR firms and they have contacts with radio stations. They even contact YouTubers. They, anybody who's involved in the media, social media, influencers, could be anything. Magazines. Well, do those even exist anymore? Anything to reach out, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to reach out to the voter, and they want to convince them to vote a certain way. And these PR firms make a ton of money from companies. And in this case, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, they're paying these PR firms to reach out to their contacts, bloggers, like whatever they are, and let them know, like, hey, we want you to talk about these things in your podcast or whatever it is. And there's a lot of sellouts out there. Like, I don't think, honestly, one of the things I like about the Joe Rogan podcast is, cause there's all kinds of bad things I could say, but I actually trust the guy. I feel like he's being real. I feel like he won't allow people to influence him to say things that go against what he really believes. But there's a lot of influencers and TV stations and all types of shows where it's not like they'll say anything. Like whoever wants to pay them, like they'll take that position. But in a lot of these cases, like especially talk radio is very much, sorry for not looking at the chat right now, guys, but I will get there. Talk radio has always been very conservative. So the fight to pass Prop 22, which is not good for the drivers, just to be clear right now, what the drivers want, whether they know it or not, is no on Uber. I'm not getting paid anything to say this. I was an Uber driver for 4 years. I really believe in the labor protections. And for my case personally, I know when I had a job, my employers would pay my FICA taxes, which is like Social Security, unemployment insurance. Like, of course, some of that was taken out of my check, but half of all that money that I was paying was being paid by my employer. And by calling us contractors, Uber and Lyft are not paying out any of that money for unemployment, Social Security. Believe in what you want about those entitlements, but everybody else who has a job pays into that. And so if you're making minimum wage or you're only making like $20 an hour, at least your employer is paying into your future by paying those FICA taxes with you. They match what you pay. Uber and Lyft are not doing that. It's really a terrible thing. It's not good for the country in general to allow companies to just not pay our taxes, especially the taxes that are protecting their own employees. But I really do believe that if we can only work, that's what I want to happen. I may be a little biased on this, but what I really want to happen is for us to only be able to pick one company. One, like as a driver going out and driving, it used to stress me out bouncing between the apps and like turning on both apps, whichever one I get a trip, turn off. Like it used to stress me out to do that. And in the end, I always felt that all the work that I was doing, like I wasn't sure if it was really helping me. Like maybe sometimes like I would get on this crazy streak bouncing between the apps and make a lot of money. But who knows? Maybe on a night like that, I was going to make that much money staying on one app anyway. Who knows? So I want the Uber and Lyft, I want them to fight for their employees. I want them to be like, no, come work for us. Don't work for the other company. Because right now they don't have to do that really. Like anybody, like there's very few people that only work for one company and they know that. So they try to keep us going. That's part of the reason why you get a trip. When they originally instituted that, I believe that was the goal. They wanted to give you a trip before you ended your trip because they didn't want you to switch over to the other app to test the waters. They wanted to keep you in their system. And that's especially why Lyft, the one thing that Lyft does that I hate, they just give you a trip and you don't have to accept it. Like it's just there. And that annoys me so much. That is giving me so much stress. Okay, let's read the chat. Let's see. I'm going back to the beginning. There's not a lot. You guys haven't said a lot, but talk to me now. I'm reading it. How's the image? How's the sound? Everything good? DoorDash is a delivery service for food. Hi, April. Yeah, I totally titled this video wrong. What was I thinking? I'm just like too much on my mind. Uber hates Leo. Hey, Jim Jones. Good afternoon. Yes, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what that proposition is. You know, think about it. Why would you want to vote yes on a proposition that Uber and Lyft and DoorDash are paying for? Do you realize I'm talking to passengers right now, okay, drivers? And I tell the passengers that. They're like, oh yeah, screw Uber and Lyft. Even the passengers are frustrated with them. They're like, oh, Uber and Lyft are paying for this proposition. As a passenger, I'm voting no. Because they're just like, yeah, like what has that company ever done for me? Love the service, but they don't run the company well. And they're a monopoly or a duopoly, because there's two companies. But a duopoly is just as much of a problem as a monopoly, especially when they're essentially price fixing, which is illegal. And they're even working together. Isn't that crazy? Like, that doesn't happen too often, where rival companies actually get together to pay for a proposition to help their industry. I mean, think about all the stuff that I'm saying. Like, how could you vote yes when that's what Uber and Lyft want? They paid for this proposition. They want you to vote yes for it. Like, don't do it. Like, they don't care about anybody. You know, isn't it interesting how Travis Kalanick left, sold all of his shares? If Travis didn't see something coming that even he didn't believe in, he would have stayed in at least a little bit. Like, you don't want to pull all out of a company that you believe in. Travis didn't need the money to invest in his new venture, Cloud Kitchens. He didn't need all of it. He could have taken half of it. He could have left maybe a quarter of it in his Uber stock. But he left. He boned out like real fast. It was just all of a sudden one day we woke up and Travis Kalanick is pulling out of his shares, and like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, a month later, he's completely out of Uber. Like, something happened. He was not happy with the direction that company was going. And I don't know how to explain to you like what that means to you. It means, well, like, what does it mean? Travis Kalanick didn't believe in the company anymore. What does it mean? I mean, only he knows, really. But from our perspective, it can't be good. Because if he really thought that Uber was going to be what he planned for it to be, which was everything transportation, I believe I saw an interview where he was talking about that. Like, I would imagine them having trains and airlines or whatever it is we get around in, Uber ships. Uber is going to have their name on everything. Taxis, water taxis, like, of course, flying cars. Like, basically, that's the brand for transportation. And if he truly believed that that was their future, he'd still have shares in Uber. He wouldn't have pulled out. He saw something he didn't like. Hey, Nicole. Yo, in the Empire Salvi rideshare driver. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing good. Dude, there's a driver that actually, I don't know, can I say it? Like, you posted videos about it, but you got sick. You know? I mean, it's screwed up, dude. So those pickups from the casino, wasn't it? Oh, sound and video are good. Thanks, Abstract. Luke Skywalker, yo. Went to 2 protests last month? You're going to vote no? Okay. Yeah, so the driver, I found this driver. I'm at Fremont Street in Vegas, and I see this driver circling. And I'm just like, damn, like, he can't get a trip. His car's empty, and he's just going from like I think it's like east. Yeah. He's going from the east side of it to the west side of it to the east side of it. He's just like cruising around waiting for a trip instead of just pulling over, which is kind of interesting. So that tells you, like, maybe, because I don't know, is that really a thing? Like, I've always felt like if you know a good spot, then just pull over, turn the car off even. Like, there's no reason to keep driving like that. But I flagged I just gave him the peace sign, like, like rideshare family, like, what's up? And he thought, I think that I wanted a ride. And he like made a U-turn, pulled around, like, what? And then I walk over to his car and I'm like, yo, man, I was just saying, what's up? I don't really need a ride. And I have my camera going right away. You'll see this. But he said that he didn't want to, he even though he wasn't voting, he believed yes on 22, which I'm just shocked. Like, how could a driver say yes on 22? But we know there's a lot of them out there. And according to Uber stats that I saw on CNBC, 1/4 of drivers want to stay independent. So he said that he was worried about his hours and that he wouldn't be able to work. This was like after midnight, and he wouldn't be able to work like when he wanted to work. And so that's the only reason why he didn't want to he wouldn't say no on 22. And I was shocked that he said that, because he was circling and he couldn't get a ride. So he wasn't getting paid. Doesn't he understand that all that time that he would have just been like driving around, he would have at least been making money? I don't.
6 o'clock okay for you?
Yeah. My mom was asking about dinner. We're having raviolis with Rayo's arrabbiata sauce, probably a salad. What else?
Oh, David, also, I made the caprese, but will you put the dressing on it, please?
So,
Good job.
I'm doing something. Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear that? It's like, seriously, in the middle of me recording, you got to come over here and ask me, like, unbelievable. Oh, thanks, Retro. Dude, Retro was here first. I saw that. It just drives me crazy. I like totally lose my train of thought. Like, why talk to me while I'm recording? Like, seriously? I'll just read you guys this. I was on a roll. I was seriously on a roll. And you got to come over here and talk to me about food. Like, like, rideshare drivers' lives are on the line. Like, it's not the time to be talking about dinner. Bad deal getting worse. Friend, defriended you or befriended me? Voting no on Prop 22. I was thinking about it so much. He got really upset with me one day, and he said, "Don't talk to me anymore." Isn't befriending somebody, that's making them your friend? So, but you're saying that he doesn't want to be your friend anymore because you're voting no on 22? Wow, that's crazy. Isn't it crazy? Like, you're trying to help people, and the very people that you're trying to help are like pissed off at you. It's funny. I've actually, every time I post one of these streams talking about 22 over the last, well, especially last week, I lost like 16 subscribers, like all of a sudden. But also, it might have been something that I said about Tupac at the end of the video. Yeah, I said something nice about Tupac, and suddenly, like, people like were just dropping off like flies. Only 16 people, like, right? That's what, like 0.1% of the amount. And plus, subscribers don't even matter anyway. Just because somebody unsubscribes from me, they're still gonna get my videos recommended. So I'm not worried about it. And all those subscribers that I lost, I got way more than that now. So, so I'm going to keep talking about Prop 22 because I'm not here for subscribers. I'm here to speak the truth. And I would imagine that eventually that'll actually be a good thing. Like, I may lose some people in the short time, But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Prop 22 won't pass, and then it does become the end of the world, and California and Lyft leave California. That's not going to happen. But let's pretend like it does. Oh my God, people are going to hate me. They're going to be like, you're the a-hole that kept talking about that, and now they're gone. No, but guys, if they left, like Google or somebody would come in with their own service. Sony has a rideshare service, I think. Like somebody would come in and replace them, so don't even trip. Yo, John. Vote yes on 69. Me too. Always vote yes on 69. Drivers like to get. Yeah, that's another thing about Uber. It's like you guys don't realize, like, it doesn't. They love that they just recruit maximum number of drivers. Like, that's great for them. Terrible for us. I had another thing on my mind, and it just was gone all of a sudden. Yeah, you can come by, Luke. Yeah, Timothy. Yeah. April says, us moms just do things like that sometimes. Sometimes? Yeah. Dude, I should put my mom in my videos more. You guys will trip out. The chat keeps moving around. It's making it hard for me to read. GT, like, what's wrong with you? Like, just keep typing your question until I answer it. It's like annoying. I don't want to read you complaining. Just keep putting the question, and then maybe I'll eventually see it. Yeah, I got you, Luke. I like Tupac. Oh, awesome, Timothy. Oh my gosh, the chat keeps moving. Oh my gosh. Part of the reason I'm probably not seeing your question is because my chat keeps moving around. She said 6 o'clock for dinner. Oh, here we go. Now I'm at the bottom. Is that your question, GT? Why should I answer yes on Prop 22? You shouldn't. You should say no. I totally screwed up on the title of this. You know? But just think of the positive, like how real that is, right? And then doesn't it make, when I do dumb stuff, doesn't it make you feel so smart? It's like, damn, look at that idiot. Vote yes on 15. I'm not sure what Prop 15 is. Oh my gosh, so fun. What time is it now? Oh. Dude, I had trigger point injections. Oh, guys, so now's probably a good time to plug my van channel. And I made a channel. So I had this channel, Zambi channel, and I renamed it. Now I call it my name, but I spell it phonetically. It's the David Livaudais channel. So David, I don't even know if it'll pop up right now because it's so new. But if you were to search like David and then all one word, live a day, it should come up. I just figured like that's such a smart name because people will be able to say my name correctly and they'll be able to find it because the spelling is simple. And then I have another channel. I'm hungry. It's No Limit Van Life. Drink some of this coffee. And if you search No Limit Van Life, you don't even need to type it. You just say it into your phone, No Limit Van Life. Boom, I pop up right away. So that's doing good right now. I woke up today to 212 subscribers on that channel. It's like starting to happen. Like I'll be at 1,000 in no time. But yeah, subscribe to the No Limit Van channel for sure. The Dave the Livaudais channel, like it's very rough. Like I kind of don't even really edit. I haven't done lately, but I'll probably do some live streams on the Dave Livaudais channel. And there's actually a lot of live streams from my past. I don't even want to talk about them because like I think some of them are illegal. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff on the Dave Livaudais channel. It's super rough, not polished whatsoever. But things that I think are interesting in my life, I just post them. You know, like right now, I went to Camping World, and I noticed that the flag was at half staff because of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Oh, and can we just talk about that? Like, I hate getting political, but this is a political stream, so I'm just gonna go for it. Like, I'm an independent. I hate both parties, and I don't like to see either party do stuff that just makes them seem transparently bad. Because I don't want people to think like jump from one place to the other just because they think one party is evil. And I can't believe what's going on. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's body is still warm, and the Republicans are talking about a replacement. Like they couldn't wait a day. Like I think like one day, just wait till the next day. Like don't do that. It makes you guys look bad, and I don't like that. You know, I want people to feel like they have a choice. And when one party makes themselves look literally like evil, fortunately, there's a couple Republicans that are just like, no, like we're going to wait. So thank God for them. Why I vote yes or no. GT. Okay, I'll talk to you really fast, okay? Because everyone might want to hear this. This is my stance, okay? Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart paid for this proposition. That is why you should vote no on Prop 22. That's as simple as I can put it. Yeah, when it was 20%, yeah. You know, and back when it was 20%, they actually gave us, I mean, they had the safety fee. There was a time when there wasn't even a safety fee. But back when they gave us 80 and took 20, that was actually the split. And when pool started, if you got more pool rides, you would make more money. And then all of a sudden they realized like, oh no, we don't need to pay them according to the money we're receiving. We're just going to, dude, that's a good point. I need to write that down. We just need to pay them for the mileage that they're driving. So messed up. Oh yeah, Amanda. Amanda helped me with the thumbnails. She's I forgot the word. Creative something. But yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, like I'm starting to make more YouTube style thumbnails. I mean, my thumbnails for Dave the Uber Slave, like when I'm doing the driving videos, they do great. I have an incredible click-through rate on my Dave the Uber Slave channel. I didn't realize it until I started to build these other channels, and I'm like researching the analytics, and they say that a click-through rate, which is how many people that get showed your thumbnail, how many of them actually click on it. And so the highest click-through rates are around 10%. So a good channel, like a reasonably like successful channel, is going to have a click-through rate between, say that fast, between 2% and 10%. And my Dave the Uber Slave channel has a click-through rate of 8.5%. And really what that means, I've really thought about it, And a creative director. That's right. Amanda's the creative director of thumbnails because she watches, like, all she pretty much does is watch YouTube. So she's kind of an expert. And she's at that age where she's pretty much had social media like ever since she was in junior high. So, she's living it. Shit. Like, I don't even understand social media, honestly. I'm doing my best. But yeah, so the click-through rate on my channel is 8.5%. And I think that's because they've found my audience. So they're really only showing my thumbnails to the people that they know are going to click on them. And so that's why, like, it's not really like, oh, I just have such great thumbnails. It's more that they found my audience, the algorithm. So, but I would love to improve it. And so I've been working on my thumbnails because, thumbnails and titles are everything with YouTube. If anybody out there that's trying to grow your YouTube channel, I got a couple YouTubers on here. We need to be most concerned about our titles and thumbnails. Now, your videos need to be good. People, and you also, like, if you want the algorithm to promote you, people need to be watching, like, I forget the name of the statistic where it's how much of your video people are watching on average. You need to get that at 40%. So if you're not at 40%, you need to make better videos. But if you're doing good with your thumbnails and titles and people are watching at least 40% of your videos, you're going to grow. You're going to grow. What did I miss? I mean, people are going to vote. Like, I'm getting on here, getting all serious about it. But honestly, like, I'm just doing what I can. Like, people are going to vote. I do kind of think that this prop is going to pass. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And honestly, like, I'm starting to think, like, I want to do whatever I can to not do this kind of work, the app work. Like, I would like to do YouTube and, like, other social media and become famous and then be in movies. And then buy, like, a house in Malibu that's, like, right on the beach. Or no, maybe I think I want to buy Cher's house. Have you guys seen Cher's house? It's nice. It's super cool. I mean, actually, I'd really like Barbara Streisand's house. Or, oh, who's got a crazy house in Malibu right on the bluff? The guy from Star Trek. What's his name? Dude, look up his house. Go to californiacoastline.org and look at that dude's house. What's his name, dude? Oh, I can't think. Hold on. The old star from Star Trek. William Shatner. Look up William Shatner's house in Malibu. That's what I want. I want to become famous. I want to buy that house. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, if I had that kind of money, I would like to think that I would actually try to help people with it. But it's not, if I have the money to afford that, I'm not going to continue to live in a van. That's for sure. William Shatner's house. I'm going to show you guys. You're going to trip. Is that it? William Shatner's worth $100 million. Dude, he's got more than one house. It looks like. William Shatner Malibu home. No, I guess this is the one. Let's see. Where the hell? I want you to see a shot with the ocean. There we go. No, that's Barbara Streisand's. Where's William Shatner's? Okay. I'll show you. Oh, here we go. Wait, what? Larry Ellison's there too? Okay, so This is Barbara Streisand's. Whoa, I can't see. Good luck. Thanks. That is Barbara Streisand's house. It's in Malibu at Paradise Cove. It's like Point Doom, basically. That's Little Doom, where she is right there. That little point is called Little Doom, which is right next to Big Doom, Point Doom. And then William Shatner's house is like right next to it. But I can't find a shot that shows the ocean because it's right next to Barbara Streisand's. It's like a couple houses down. And it looks like a damn hotel. Like, I can't find a good picture of William Shatner's house. But if you go to californiacoastline.org, you can like see it. californiacoastline.org, they've taken pictures of the entire California coast ever since 1972, and you can go through and see like all the changes that have happened. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, it's getting dark. Let me give you some more light. Oh my gosh, Nicole, thank you. So sweet. Let's see. What is everybody saying? You're making bank, Christopher. Okay. I mean, did you ever think maybe it's because nobody wants to drive right now? And that's why you're making bank? Like, I'm not out driving, and there's a whole lot of drivers that aren't. So you're making bank now because there's actually quite a bit of rides right now, not a lot of drivers, and that's going to change. And also realize that these are things that Uber and Lyft, like, they want you to be happy right now. And that could change. Like maybe they're doing something that's making you make that kind of money. And maybe eventually that's not going to happen for you anymore. Like there's a lot of drivers. You may think like, how's that possible? There's a lot of drivers that have been getting deactivated lately. And it seems completely unwarranted. And people aren't exactly sure why they're doing this. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're deactivating drivers because they want them off the road. So it's their less than transparent way of restricting the amount of drivers are on the road so that the drivers that are out there are making good money, and they'll come on to, you know, places like this stream and be like, oh, I'm doing great. I don't want to change anything. You know, I mean, just think it through, guys. RGB's death only complicates things with the presidential election. Yeah. I watched a documentary about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's called Notorious RBG. I think it's on Netflix. Netflix or Hulu. I'm pretty sure Netflix. And, you know, sometimes I start those documentaries thinking like, do I really want to watch this? But it's like, I like documentaries. And so I think, well, like, I can't think, like, there's not, I pretty much watched a lot of what I wanted to watch, so I might as well watch this. And a lot of times, like, I'm so happy that I watched it, because I'm just like, oh, I can't believe I didn't want to see that. So yeah, I don't know, if you like documentaries and you haven't seen Notorious RBG yet, it's about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it's actually really good. There was a bunch of stuff about her that I didn't know that's like, of course, like, crazy impressive. Like, she's seriously amazing. She's a crusader, and she's done a lot for this country. Like, you would think, oh yeah, she's a Supreme Court justice, but no, dude, like, she's done so much for this country. It's crazy. And that's why I was so shocked that they were trying to replace her, like, right when they announced her death. I was just like, whoa, you know, let's have like a day of mourning here. It's just like kind of made me angry. Uh, oh, oh. You remember them building Cher's house? No way. Cher's house is crazy, guys. It's right next to Dan Blocker Beach, I believe. Right next to Malibu Seafood. It's like up on the hill just south of it. South or east, depending on, because it's kind of a south facing beach right there. Yeah, I've been thinking lately, like, am I going to be heartbroken if Prop 22 passes? Because I really do. I think not, because I think that it's going to pass, even though I don't want it to. And so I think because I expect it, maybe I won't be so heartbroken. And it doesn't mean the fight's over if that happens. What's my favorite meal of the day? Well, there's this place in Santa Barbara called La Super Rica. I have a hard time rolling my R's. I also like Howlin' Ray's. That's here in LA. In my own little neighborhood, there's a few places. I probably shouldn't tell you. You guys are going to stalk me. But there's some places that are like second to none, impeccable food. Some of my favorites are Chi-Chi's Pizza, Brent's Deli, Falafel Palace, Cha-Cha Chicken. I mean, there's so many. Like, I could just go on and on. I don't even... You know what's really good is the pastries at Whole Foods. There's some good stuff in there. The little thing where you like open and they're all like in there. But I don't eat that stuff. I only eat healthy food. Christopher B. What do you want? No service fee? That's awesome. Over here in LA, I was so disappointed that I got an XL car because even though there were those times where I made like good money because I live far enough from the airport, like I live like an hour from the airport normally. Like right now I could probably get there in 40 minutes, but normally it's an hour or more. And so those airport trips from my neighborhood were really good. I'd make over $50. Of course, like it became less than $50 after a while. But all in all, though, like in LA, I found that a lot of drivers that were driving in Priuses were making quite a bit more than me in my XL. And so over my 4 years of driving Uber, it was very disappointing. And there was a lot of times where I regretted having an XL because I was paying 3 times more for gas because I would only get, running the AC and driving around town. Like usually the best I could do would be like 18 miles per gallon and it would often be 16. Whereas the people in Priuses were doing 40 miles per gallon plus up to 50 and sometimes even more. So they were doing way better. Like they were paying like $100 a week for gas while I was paying sometimes 300. Like a week where I made $1,000, I might have paid $300 in gas. And that was really disappointing, because I thought I was being smart going out and getting a van because I can make more money doing XL, but ultimately it ended up being the wrong move. The only cool thing about it is that I could pick up groups, but some of those groups that I picked up, as you see, were not fun, but at least I got to make videos. I'm heading out. See you later. Oh, thanks, Nicole. Bye, if you're still there. Sorry I'm behind on the thing. Good point. Wait till all drivers come back. Oh, is it dinner time? No, I haven't been driving since March. 2 days before St. Patrick's Day. Because when the whole COVID thing started, it like wasn't even busy anymore. And then also my parents are old. I live at home with my parents, and I don't want to get them sick. Okay, Christopher. It doesn't really make sense. Economically stable plan, like, explain. Because it doesn't, I don't see it. Not even a little bit. The mudslides in Malibu? Yeah. After the fire? How about the mudslides in what is that? Where Oprah lives? Montecito. Huh. People died. Dinner. Yeah, not a lot of XL trips out there, right? Timothy says, I lost my ass on XL only. 5% of trips were XL. Yeah, Christopher, just because, like, dude, us drivers that have been driving, like, we understand. Like, it's happened to us too. Like, we've had periods of time where we made good money and it was great, but they didn't last. So you're not saying anything that people that have been driving for a while already know. Like, yeah, you're doing great. That's great. But check it out. You're one driver and you're in a city that's not like San Diego's special. Like, I know Rideshare Driver Pro, he has a YouTube channel. Thomas, he drives in San Diego and he does good. So yeah, I know. Drivers in San Diego do good. That's great. Just like drivers in Seattle do good. Drivers in Phoenix, Arizona do good. Oh, did you hear about, dude? How about Cecily's videos? She's doing good, right? Her videos are good. Giving out the rideshare news. That was interesting that she said on, was that yesterday? That driver in Arizona in the self-driving car. I was so mad about that because I'm like, you see in the video that she was looking at her phone. I was like, what? She's looking down at her phone. She's supposed to be paying attention. She's there for a reason. And so they finally charged her. So happy about that. Really, I was really upset about that because it was very clear that she wasn't paying attention.
Dinner's ready.
Uh-oh, dinner's ready. I think that means it's time to go. Yeah, Montecito. No, I got you, Christopher. I'm not, don't like get confused by my tone or anything. I'm just letting you know that, your experience, like drivers that have been around for a while, we've had those periods where we're just like, yeah, we're kicking ass. Like everything's great, but they just don't last. Oh yeah. Thanks, Retro. So yeah, so gonna go eat some ravioli. If you want to see what happens, right, like what the food and everything, subscribe to my David Livaudais channel. It's spelled Live a Day, all one word, David Livaudais. And also subscribe to my No Limit Van Life channel, please, because I'm trying to grow it and I want to get monetized and I want to get to 1,000 subs. And you guys can make that happen. And it's going to be fun. And if you don't know like what van life is all about, I'm converting a van that I can park in like any parking spot into a tiny home. It's going to have a sink, shower, TV, couch, like all in a van. It's going to be awesome. Knowing what? All right, guys. So I'm going to take off. Thanks for coming on here, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Retro. Retro's my best friend now because he guessed where I was, even though I said it in the video. But he was the first to guess. Yeah, crazy. Oh, bye, April. You're still here. Yeah, love you too. Oh, look at that. Clarity Creek. Okay, cool. Yeah, catch the next one. Yeah. Thanks for coming in last minute, though, just to say hi. Peace out, Timothy. Kidding me? Wow. Wow, that's heavy, guys. All right, so I'm going to go eat. Peace.